Hello everyone, today we have this Samsung Ecobubble 8 kilogram washing machine. So this one has a problem. It stops working at random places. So if I am washing anything, it stops at any time. I have to press the pause button and press it again to start the washing cycle, and then it stops again at any time. So I did a diagnostic test mode and I found that it has a UC code, which means it is a power issue, a power fluctuation issue. Let's do it again. Let me turn on the power. It is on. So let's press these two. It's the delay end and bubble soak. We press these two, and then we press the power on button. Okay, let's do it. As you can see, we have 1888. So let's turn this knob now and go to test. Now we have test. Even before we start the test, we get this UC code. Okay, let's do a quick inspection to the power. First, I will remove this cover and try and remove this cover to get the boards out and test the voltage. Let me just take these covers off and I'll come back. Okay, so I got it disassembled. As you can see, I removed the top cover and I disassembled also this front cover. Okay, so the main board is located here. So this is the main board. Here we have the water level sensor, and this is its pipe going to the tank. Here we have the input filter, and here we have the two water valve controls. So those two, one will go, let me show you, one will go here and one will go here. Okay, so now I need to check the voltage here and inspect those capacitors if any of them is damaged. These two capacitors are little bit black, I don't know why. Yes, they are black. I need to check the PCB from this area. These capacitors looks good. Those two are good also. Here we have two relays. Let me take this out and we will check it. Okay, so this is the board. I got it out. As you can see, we have a black area next to this IC. It's all black. And next to those diodes, those two capacitors are blackened. I don't know why. And also we have small black over there. Okay, so we need to check especially this IC and see what's wrong with it. And also we need to take these two capacitors and check them. Okay, everything other than that is looking just fine. We also need to check these resistors, also that one. Yeah, okay, let's take it to the bench and test it. Okay, so here is the board. Let's have a look together. What's wrong with this area? Why it is all blackened? I really don't like this capacitor and this one. Let's first clean it to see if these black areas are just, or black dust is just outside, it's not within the silicon. So this is all filled with silicon, In order to take any of these parts, we need to take the whole board out of the casing, out of this plastic part, which all are glued together with this silicone material, which is really hard to take out. I don't know if I will be able to take it out or not, but let's see. Let me first try and clean it. Yeah, the black dust has gone. I think we need to take the board out and take these two capacitors and test them. Using this test tool, ESR test tool, equivalent series resistance. So let's see if we can get this board out. Let's try and take it out of the board. Now I'm cutting the silicone at the edge here. It's really hard. Okay, so it's out. I managed to get it out. So let me first clean this table. Okay, now let's take this capacitor out. I need to open a small area here to get to the soldering of that capacitor. And also I will take this capacitor. This is the auxiliary capacitor, and I will check it. Okay. So here is the capacitor, it's out. Why it has a lot of solder here? So here is the capacitor. As you can see, it has a lot of solder here. And also on the board. Look at the solder. Okay, let's first test it. With the multimeter to see its capacitance. (10 microfarad), so it is good. Yes, let's test it with this ESR tester. .3. I think it should be less than that. So I have a table here, but this one is up to 250 volts. 10 microvolts, 10 microfarad should read 2.5 ohms at 250 volts. If we go down with the voltage, so 100 volt, we should read 3 ohms. 36 volt, 2.4, 35 volt, 3.2, 25 volt, 5.3 volts, 16 volts, 8 ohms. So it is going up, the resistance goes up while the voltage goes down. So here we have 250 volts. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, 250 volts, we have 2.5 ohms. So at 500 volts, we should have at least half of that. So 1.25 ohms, and this one reads 3.5. I think this is not good. Let me try and bring a 400 volt. I don't have 500 volts, but I do have 400 volts. So let's try and measure. So these are 400 volts, 10 microfarads. Let's test this one. .9. This is even worse. So I think this is good. Actually, let's try another one. .8. 4.8, so this is absolutely bad. These capacitors are cheap, so that's why I think they are reading high ESR. 3.2, this is the best so far. 4, 6 ohms. This is bad. 5.28. Yeah, so they are all not good quality, but this one is definitely better than all of those. .1. This one again 3.82. Let me try and find a used replacement capacitor for this. Okay, I found another set of 400 volts 10 microfarad capacitors. Let's use one and check this one. So this one is 2.2, which is very good. This is really good. Let's compare it with this one. This is 3.1, so that one, this one almost 10 ohms different, which is great. So I will install this one. I will keep this one, but I will install this new one and see if it will fix our problem. Okay, now let's check this, the smaller one, the 50 volts. We said this is 50 volts for 47. So let's take this one. So this one is a 50 volt 47 microfarad. It should read around 0.5 to 0.6 ohms. It's reading 0.1, which is beautiful. I will put this capacitor back, and then I will check the output capacitors, these capacitors, these two and this one, and maybe this one. Okay, let's take these output capacitors, so this one and this one. Okay, let's test these two. These are 1000 microvolts, microfarad, 25 volts, so it should be 0.06 ohms. .02, which is good. This one, the same, so they both are good. So the output capacitors, these two are good. This one is how much? I think it's the same. So let's take this one. .01, which is good. Let's put it back. So here we have a crystal and we have the main CPU here, the main controller. We have here two capacitors, small capacitors. I don't know what they are here for, but also we have here these two capacitors. Do we need to take them out? 25 volts, 100 microfarad. I would say let's try it. Let's try it with only this capacitor replaced. I will not take these two out. Let's put it back in its plastic casing. Okay, so it's back. Let's install this board. Okay, let's go and test it. Okay, so I have installed it. Okay, this is the capacitor that we have replaced. Let's try it. Let me just put it like that. Okay, let's turn it on. It still turns on. Everything seems to be normal. Let's turn it off. And now I need to turn it on while pressing these two buttons. Okay, let me first do it. Okay, here we are in the diagnosing menu. Now we are in the test mode. We still get the UC error. So let me bring the multimeter and test the voltage if it is really fluctuating. Okay, so here is the voltage. It's 251 volt, which is pretty stable and it is not fluctuating. Let me turn it on. It is on and the voltage stays as it is. So the voltage is not fluctuating. So let's take it back to the bench and see if we have any sort of equipment that acts as a voltage sensor or a voltage detector, like this little transistor there. So let's take it back there and see if we find any component that is used to measure the voltage or to sense the voltage. Okay, so here we are back on the bench. I want to check this transistor and this transistor over there to see if they are used as a voltage sense devices. So let me go under the microscope. I think I shall take it out first. Okay, let's go under the microscope. So this is the first one. So this is Kia 70, I think. AR 522. Kia 7042AP 522. Let me search for this. Okay, so I found it. Let me go to desktop here. As you can see, it's Kia 7042AP, exactly the same marking as we got, and it says voltage detector. So let me open the datasheet. So it says function of this IC is accurately resetting the system after detecting voltage at the time of switching power on and instantaneous power off in various CPU system and other logic systems. So it is a voltage detection IC. So yeah, this is the IC that we need to look at. Unfortunately, I don't have this IC. Well, what I can do is I will try and look for a spare board and salvage this component. Okay, for now let me just try and find this IC or this component, and if I do, I will come back and I will install it with you and we will test it again together. Okay, so we are back. So this is a replacement unit. This one unfortunately does not work at all. I have tried it. It doesn't work at all. So we have this IC that we need. It's exactly the same. The only difference I can see on this is this IC or this transistor over here does not have heatsink, but this one does. Okay, so I will have to take this whole board again out of this plastic casing, exactly the same as this one, so we can extract this transistor. Okay, so let me just take it all out again and I'll be back. Okay, before I go ahead and take this whole board out, I was taking this board out and I noticed that there is also a sort of voltage detector IC. So this one is 73L42. So if I search about it, when I search about it, I got this. So it's a standard voltage detector, 73L X. So the X's means different numbers. So the one I got is 42. So we have this type. So we have number 1 VCC, the middle one is ground, and 3 is V out. Okay, so before taking this out of this board, let me go to the camera. Before taking this board and try and taking this voltage detector, I will try first this board, the whole board. I will not take this IC. I will install the whole board first and see if it does work. If it doesn't work at all, the whole board doesn't work the same when it was on this unit, I will then take this IC and install it on my unit. So this is my unit. I will install it here. So my unit is for sure works, but only has this problem, which is UC error. Okay, let's install this. Okay, so this is my unit. I will leave it aside and I will install this one instead. Okay, let's go and try this and hope it works. If it does work, I will not bother replacing this. I will order this from AliExpress. I found it on AliExpress. I will order it and I will maybe try it in future. But for now, I will just, if it does work, I will keep that board that I have replaced with this one. Okay, so let's go and test it. Okay, so I have installed the unit again with the new board, the front board. So let's try it. Let's try and turn it on at first. Okay, it does work. It is working. Yeah, everything seems to be good. Let's try and turn it off. I will now press these two and turn it on to go to test mode. Let me just do it. Okay, we are in the test mode. If I go to test, now if we press this, it will start and turn the water on this side first. Let me turn on the water a little bit. Yeah, we have the water at this side. If we now press this again, it will turn to that side. If we turn it again, it stops. Okay, it is good. We no longer have that UC code. Let's press this. This is testing the bump, the suction pump down there. It is working. Let's turn it off. This is the bubble pump again. It's off. This one, I don't know what does it test. I think it's the heater. I can hear the relays click. I don't know if you can hear them, but let's do it. Okay, if we press this, it will do a test cycle. Now we have 3C. This code is related to the motor. I think we need to clean the brushes, but let's try and turn it off, and let's try and do a clean cycle. Let's go to any one, the 15 one, 15 minutes, 12 minutes. This one, let's try it. The good thing that we don't have the UC codec anymore, which is related to that IC that I have told you. But I want to see if the motor will turn. Now it is providing water to the tank. I want to see the drum rotate. And yes, it does rotate. Let's wait for it. Will it give us will it give us any codes, error codes again? Is it stopped again? I think so. Let me try and press this pause button and try it again. it still stops. But the good thing that we don't have the UC error anymore. We can check the motor brushes and clean them to see. Let's go and let me go and turn it off. I will turn it on again. It should suck all that water from the tank. And I'll go to drum clean, start. As you can see, it stopped. If we press pause button and continue again, it spins. Now it stops again. Let me try and hit those relays. It's not the relays. Let's hit this water level sensor. It's not the water level sensor. I think this is a problem with the motor. Let's go back to the test mode and see if we will get that 3C error. Okay, let's turn it off. I will turn it on so it sucks all the water from the tank. I'll go to spin. So spin, I am at the spin. Let's try turn it on. so it does not spin at all this time. Let me turn it off. I'll go to the test menu again. Okay, so we are in. Let's go to test. So we are in test mode. Let's do this. So yes, we have 3C again. So this is related to the motor. I have to check the brushes and clean them, or possibly replace them. Okay, so for now I can install everything from here, and I will continue the video on replacing the brushes or cleaning them. Okay, so we are back at the bench. So we have replaced the front panel, which is this one that has the switches, the buzzer, the display and the LEDs, and it works now. It has no UC code, so we have no code related to the voltage fluctuation. But now we have the 3C code, error code, which is related to the motor. I told you that I will check the motor and the brushes of the motor, and I will clean the commutator. I did that, all of that, but still we got 3C error, and the tank does not spin at all. So now the motor does not spin. Sometimes it spins a little bit and it stops. So I think it's related to this board. It's still related to this board. So in this board we have here the input voltage comes from this pin here of this relay, and this pin, the last pin here of the other relay. So the input voltage comes from here. We have here a little transistor on this heatsink. It's actually a triac that controls the speed of the motor. And here we have 3 relays that controls the direction of the relay, of the motor, the spinning of the motor. And this is the connection to the motor. So we have these relays to control the direction of the motor spinning, and we have this triac that controls the speed of the motor. So now I will take this board again. I will inspect the solder joints of the triac and the relays. If everything seems to be good, I will try and uninstall these relays and check them out if they are making good connection or not. And maybe I will trace back the signal that turns on this speed controller, which is, the triac. I think it's this resistor, which is orange, black, gold, which is, I think, 300 ohms, which goes to the gate of this triac. Okay, let's now take it out again. Okay, so the board is out. Now I will go underneath the board and check the solder joints of the relays, which are these 3 relays here, and the triac, which is this one here. Let me take the silicon out of these areas where we want to check. from what I can see, the solder joints of the triac are good and not cracked or nothing. Now let's see the relays. So here we have relay 1, I think we have a cracked bad here. Let's take the others and we will check them all. And even this one, it's cracked. We will check under the microscope to confirm it's cracked or not. Yeah, I think both the control legs of this relay are cracked. The last one. And even this one. So all 3 relays have cracked pads. So I forget to press the record button. I found all of these relays have a cracked solder joints. I forget to show you. So now I soldered them all. The control side of all these 3 relays were cracked. This one is still not soldered. Yes, so you can see. So this one is still, I didn't solder. As you can see, it's cracked. I soldered this and this and this. This one has both cracked, this one both cracked, and this one has only this one cracked. I also resoldered all other joints, so to make sure they will not crack in future. So let me solder this. Okay. Oh, again, I forget to change the microscope. So, unfortunately, you didn't see them. So, all of these solder joints of the relays, the control side of the relays, were cracked. There was this one still I didn't solder, so when I pressed the record button, I forget to change the microscope so you can see it. But okay, so I soldered all of these control side of these relays, and also I soldered these other joints of the relays. I still have, I think, one in here. Yeah, this is not cracked. Both of them are not cracked. This one is not connect, but this one is not cracked. I will solder it. So I think now we can test it. This time I think it will work. I feel bad that you didn't see the cracked joints. Let's solder the triac pads. They will not crack in future. Okay. I think we can put it in and we can test now. I think this time it will work. I'm pretty sure it will work. The triac is good. The relays are now good. It should work this time. Let's go and test it. Okay, so I have installed the board to the washing machine. Still the same board with the same capacitor I changed. Okay, let's hope now it works after we re-soldered the dry joints of the relays. Okay, let's try it now. Okay, so let's turn it on. So remember, it was not turning at all. I mean, the drum was not spinning at all. So let's try it now. We are still in the spin mode. Let's try it. And let's hope the drum will turn this time. And yes, it does turn. Let's wait for it and hope it will not pause by itself. So it works. Yeah, we successfully repaired it, but let's go to the test mode and check if we will get that Fnirsi code again. Okay, and the other code, which was UC, which is the voltage related code. Okay, as you can see, it is spinning really fast and it is working perfectly, and even the number is counting down. It is counting down. It was pausing and stopping at the maximum number. For example, we started at 12. It stays at 12 all the time. And if it does spin and this goes a little bit for let's say to 11 seconds or minutes, it then stays there forever. If we pause it and start it again, it will start for a second and then it will die again. But now, as you can see, it is working perfectly. So I will stop this spin and I will go to the test mode and we will see if we have any error codes there. Okay, let's turn it off. It is off. Let's go to the test menu. I will press again these two buttons and turn it on. Just let me do it. Okay, so we are in the menu. Let's go to test. This is test. And we are having the UC code again. I think this is related to the voltage in my home, in my house. I think it is more than what it should be. It should be 220 to 240, but when I measured it last time, I found it 251, which is too much. Let me try one thing and we will check if we will get this UC code or not. Just let me bring something and we will do it together. Okay, so I brought a Variac and I have adjusted the output of it to 230 volts. Let me turn it on. Okay, let's measure the output. It's 232, 231, and the input is I'm doing this with one hand. 250, as you can see, 250, which is too much. So the output now is 230, and I have connected it here through this extension cord. So let's turn it on now and go to the test menu again. Let me do it. Okay, we are in the test menu. Let's go to test mode. Now we are in the test mode. Let's press this button and start the test. As you can see, we have no more UC error code, so it is related to a high voltage, and the motor is spinning. Last time we had 3C test 3C code here when we press the start button. Now we don't have the UC code and we don't have the 3C code. The UC code is related to a high voltage, and the 3C code is related either to the motor, the brushes of the motor, or to the board itself, to the relays, or to the triac. Okay, so now we have successfully tested, repaired this washing machine. Let me stop this test. Let's test this water valve, and yes, it is running good. Let's press again to test the other valve, and it is. Let's turn it off. It is off. Let's turn on the suction pump, which is over there, and it is working. Let's turn the bubble pump, and it is turning on. Let's turn it off, and now we can test again the heater, which is working. I think it is working. We have heard the click, and this one again, it is turning, and we have no codes. So we have successfully repaired this washing machine, and the UC code is related to high voltage. I don't know why the voltage at my home is too high. So thank you for watching. I wish you have a great time with me. So thank you so much, and see you next time.